guys, so today's video is going to be my first impressions. Get ready with me on the Urban Decay Naked Wild West palette. This is my newest palette to my collection. I decided to pick it up a couple days ago, and I've been waiting to dig into this palette because I actually haven't been able to use it since I got it. I got it on Tuesday, and Wednesday I had to film me and Riri's birthstone look for our aquamarine look, and then on yesterday I had to do the live with Debbie, and we used our Pat McGrath and Gimme Glow palettes. So I'm finally digging into this guy today. I already primed my eyes with my Anastasia primer, and I just put my ColourPop lip oil on as usual. So this is what the packaging looks like. So cute. And then this is what the palette looks like. It's the same as the outer packaging. Oh my god, I'm so excited to try this. And then when you open it up, this is the palette. I'll just give you guys a close-up real quick. I can't really spend too much time telling you guys about the palette because I do have to get ready for work. You know what? I think I'm going to use the brush that comes in here. These are pretty good brushes. So I'm going to use this one. This looks like a really good crease brush. Okay, so I'm going to dig into, of course, some of the mattes first. So I'm going to take the shade Spur. And depending on how dark this is in my crease, I'm not sure if I'm just going to use it as a transition shade or just my crease shade. So let's see how it is. I've heard really good things about this palette, so I'm very excited to try it. And the reason why I picked up this palette is not just because, I mean, of course, the nostalgia of being an Urban Decay palette, a naked palette did, you know, draw me in. But I actually can't use my first and my third naked palettes anymore. They're just getting too old and they are starting to smell bad. So I kind of wanted something to replace those. And also, like, I was gonna do that with my Modern Renaissance palette. That was the only palette I ever considered repurchasing in my collection. I was going to repurchase that palette, but then I ended up not because I just ended up finding better formulas that I liked more, and I stuck with the naked palettes more as, like, basically the only other palettes I collect in my collection besides ColourPop palettes would be the Urban Decay Naked Palette. So since I can't use 2 of them anymore, now I only have 4 of them instead of 6. So I figured that this made sense for me to pick up. So, okay, this color is applying really nicely, and this brush is so super soft. So I do really like how it applies the color. I don't know why my eyelids are so dry today, though. It's kind of like clinging to all my dry patches on my eyes, which I don't really love. Usually my eyes aren't this dry. That's a little weird. Okay. I've also been sipping on Gatorade because I'm not feeling 100% yet, so, but I do have to get ready for work today. Okay, so I do think, I don't know if I'm going to go in with another shade. I think I'm just going to go in with Ghost Town. I do like how soft that is in the crease area, so I'm going to go into this warmer tone color. And I'm going to pop that in the defining area. And that's also performing really nicely. So the reason why I picked it up is because I wanted to try, you know, a new formula from, not from ColourPop, from Urban Decay. I mean, people are pretty much saying that this is on par with the Honey palette. The Honey palette's still my favorite naked palette. So, and I don't think anything's going to top that, but these are performing very nicely. I mean, I'm not going to do the simplest look today. I do want to play with the blue shade today, so I kind of wanted to do a warm crease with a blue lid. I thought that would be fun, so. And I do like how that, again, that shade in the crease is kind of softer with this darker shade. I do like that I didn't really layer it up with anything. But I also haven't had coffee in like 3 days because I've been trying to stay away from coffee. So I've been kind of having less energy lately. So that's why I sound pretty like low energy. So sorry. I've just been sticking with water and Gatorade and then tea at night. So, and ginger tea works wonders. And then for my outer corners, I'm going to take this whiskey shade right here. And I'm going to pop that on the outer corners. So far, these shades are performing, or this palette's performing exactly like any other Naked palette. So that's good. I can definitely count on the Naked palettes to always perform pretty well. Okay, I'm just going to finish blending that out off camera because I don't want to like waste your time with me blending a million years, and then we'll do the lid shade. So I already applied my glitter glue off camera, and then we are going to go into the lid shade. So for the lid, like I said, I want to use the blue shade. So that one is called Bud. And I figured since I'm getting ready for work and I'm wearing like a blue kind of outfit, I really wanted to try this one out. Oh, that's a really pretty blue. Very, very smooth. Oh, I like that a lot. You know what's funny is that I wasn't going to pick up this palette. I was like, I don't know if I like this. And I even posted it on my Instagram that I was like, I don't like this. And then I kept on seeing photos of it and people raving about it. And I was like, I want it. So I ended up getting it because obviously I'm playing with it today. So I just think it's funny that like I can't resist certain brands of palettes sometimes. But I am doing pretty good about keeping my palettes low this year. I actually just found out that the Kaleidos palette isn't restocking till May. So now if Ulta comes out with a coupon for 20% off, I don't have to get the Nobble palette until like later this month or next month, depending on when they come out with a coupon, because I do want to try Nobble's formula still. That's been on my list for months already. I've just been waiting for Ulta to come out with a 20% off. And I would think that they would probably do it in April because that's when Sephora does their spring VIB sale, and Ulta usually always comes out with a 20% off coupon to compete with Sephora's sale anyway, so I'm probably not going to pick it up till then. So this palette and the Bambi palette are going to be my 2 palettes this month, and that's already enough palettes. And then next month will be the Nobble palette. But that's how I'm going to keep my collection a little bit more manageable this year, is that I'd rather just buy 1 palette a month or 1 palette every other month. Since I did go on a no-buy for palettes in January, that did really help. And I was able to use palettes that I really wanted to use. And now I'm like genuinely excited to get new palettes in my collection rather than being like super overwhelmed, because I used a bunch of palettes this past month. So I'm just going to finish applying that off camera. That shade took quite a bit of building to get full opacity on the lid. I mean, it was very pretty, but it was kind of like taking a little bit longer to like spread it out. So just keep that in mind. And then for the brow bone, I'm going to go into the shade Standoff. What I can appreciate about the Naked palettes is that they always come with a brow bone highlight. So I do really like that. And even if that shade is too light for someone of a darker skin tone, usually the other mattes will work as a brow bone highlight for pretty much anybody. That's a really nice shade too. Okay, so that is basically it for the eye look right now. I'm going to do my face off camera just to save time, and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line. All right, I always say I want to save some time to do my face off camera, but then I'm like, I'm already here, so why not just do it on camera? So I already primed my face with my MAC Prep and Prime Cucumber Fix Plus, and then I just used my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, which I use basically for work all the time. It's like my favorite primer. I'm almost done with it too, so it's the mini version. And then for foundation, I'm using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh, one of my favorites. I'm just gonna blend that out. Oh, I love this foundation. It's so good. I wouldn't repurchase the no filter or the no filter stick because I love this foundation way more. I mean, I still really liked both of those foundations too, but this one I love way more. I would repurchase everything from the Pretty Fresh line. It's like their best line they've come out with as far as their complexion products. I mean, of course, the no filter concealer was great, and you know, it was still a good line. I'm not saying it was bad, but this one was even better. I'm just going to finish blending it out off camera if I could speak. And then for concealer, I'm going to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer. I haven't used these two together in a little while, so I try to rotate my concealers as much as I can. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but I haven't really been working as much as now because I'm not a supervisor anymore. But this week I had 3 shifts, so I think I had Sunday, Monday, and Friday, and then I have, which is Friday is today. And then I have, you know, I had Sunday, Monday, and Friday is the last day that I'm working, which is today for this week. And then I have Sunday, and then that's it. Then I'm off for like a week. So I'm hoping, because we're getting a new store manager next week, so I'm hoping that the store manager might add me on like maybe one day, because I don't like love being off for a week, so I hope I can at least be scheduled for one more day, maybe. That'd be nice. I think the only reason why I was scheduled more this week is because we still had another supervisor training. I think that this is her first shift by herself, and then the other new supervisor is closing tonight. So I think that this is their first shift on their own. I mean, Justin has done shifts on his own anyway, but the other supervisor hasn't. And then I'm just going to apply it underneath my eyes. I really have only used this concealer to do like cut creases. I don't remember the last time I actually used it underneath my eyes. I think it's been like a month at least. Because I've been rotating other newer concealers like the Pat McGrath and the Kosas, and I use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind constantly. Constantly? Wow, Caitlin. I don't know where that accent came from. Sound like I'm from North Carolina. I don't think that's even a Carolina accent either, because then that kind of turns southern, so let's not. Gonna finish blending. So I went ahead and set my face off camera. I just used the e.l.f. HD powder and then the Flower Beauty Light Illusion powder on my face. And then I used the ColourPop Pretty Fresh spray. I totally blanked for a second on what I did next. Okay, so for the inner corners, I'm going to take this silver shade right here, which is called Cowboy Rick. And I just really wanted to use that color. I mean, I don't know if I want to use the gold instead of the silver. We're going to use the silver. We can use the gold tomorrow on my lid anyway. So as far as this palette goes, I'm not like 100% loving it that much. It's nice, but I don't think it's anything too like special to write home about. Since I've tried so many indie brands that have performed better than a lot of other brands, like this is the only brand that I purchase. Urban Decay is the only brand I purchase that's like mainstream anymore besides ColourPop. But I find that ColourPop shades or ColourPop palettes perform better for way less of a price than the Urban Decay palettes. So, I mean, they're good, but like, I think that I've moved on from mainstream brands that are overpriced because honestly, they're not as good as indie brands are. So, and the shade is quite difficult to build up on the inner corners because it's very sparkly. And I really love this brush for the inner corners, and usually it builds up the shade really nicely. I just feel like this one's taking quite a bit of building. Okay, that's pretty. I do like that. That is a very pretty sparkle on the inner corners. I feel like I need a little bit more though on this side. Yeah, that's better. That's more what I was looking for. Okay. And then for the lower lash line, to add a little bit of more interest to this look, I'm going to use the blue shade, which is called Tex. I wanted to use that on my crease originally, but I was like, you know what? I think that would be fun on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take that one, and that one is a pretty pigmented, like, navy blue. And I'm just going to pop that on. That is really dark. Wow. That's pretty pigmented, that one. Yeah, that's a nice shade. That's definitely like my favorite matte so far. I'm going to do the same over here. Why it takes me so long to build these up sometimes. So I wasn't that hungry for breakfast today. I had like not even a full corn muffin. That's what I had for breakfast because I wasn't feeling that great this morning. Because like I'm still recovering from this whole food poisoning thing. So I did feel better the past like yesterday, but like I was still having a ton of like indigestion. But I still ate light meals yesterday, so I think I'm just going to bring soup with me to work. That's really pretty. I do like that shade a lot. So that's pretty much it for the eyes. Okay, and then I'm going to do mascara and everything. I'll just do that off camera. For mascara and stuff, I used the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer, and then I went in with my Anastasia Lash Brag. And then for the waterline, I used my Raw Beauty Christian ColourPop liner in the shade Woodsy, the one I can't put down. And then I used my Maybelline Lash Discovery on my lower lashes as usual. And then for my bronzer, I'm going to go into the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in the Tantric one. I'm going to bronze up my skin. I haven't used this one in a little bit, so... And it was just sitting on my desk, so why not just use what's in front of me? I don't know how I'm feeling about this lid shade because it keeps on transferring. And I feel like if I like put the mattes over it again, I kind of lose the pigment in the lid shade, and it's a little bit annoying. I feel like these shades will kind of fade throughout the day in like the crease area, so just keep that in mind. And it's not the primer that I use, because I love the Anastasia primer and I use that with like every new palette now, so I don't know. Let me just grab my blush and my highlight. And then for blush, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Afterglow blush in Video. I really need to hurry up and get out of here, so I'm sorry if this is super sped up, but I really have like no time. And I still have to apply my lip shade. Oh, I think I know what lip shade I want. Maybe I'll do a brown shade today. Haven't done a brown in quite a while. And then I'm going to use this Pixie Glow highlighter. I did actually use this in my birthstone look, but I didn't wear it out, and I haven't worn this highlighter out in a long time, so I kind of just wanted to use it with this look because this is such a pretty highlight. If I can actually find my friggin' highlighting brush. Alright, we're just going to use the Anastasia one because that one's in front of me. I don't know where the... Why can I ever find anything in this friggin' cup that I use every single day of my life? Okay, it's right here. Wow, Caitlin. It's always right in front of you. Alright, if I could see what I'm doing. Actually, I probably should have used like the Too Faced highlight today. That would have been pretty, but this one's really, really gorgeous. So whatever. I only had this on for like 10 minutes when I actually did that look, so. Oh my god, I gotta hurry up. I am so tired, you guys. This like food poisoning has just taken all of my energy. Like all of it. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Alright, I just had to start doing my lips off camera because I have like no time. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. Here are the eyes. The cheeks. And the lips. As far as this palette goes, I'm not sure if I'm 100% in love with it. I still think that the Urban Decay Honey palette is my favorite naked palette still, and I actually even might like the Cherry palette even more. I do like this formula, and it's not like I had any problems with it performing, and it did create a really pretty eye look, but as far as something that I like don't have in my collection already, this is nothing new. But I do like it. It's nice. It adds something to my collection. So yeah, I will keep on testing this out and updating you guys on it. I do think it's a really pretty look, but I really have to go. So I love you guys. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819 and let me know if you guys picked up this palette and what you guys thought of it. And yeah, bye!